Assalamualaikum and hi. Today we will present about information system and technology control used in accounting. Before I go into more detail, allow me to introduce my group members. The first member is Nurul, Liyana, Binti, Yahaya, and the metric number is 03D8020F1032. The second member is me, Nurul, Idayu, Binti, Mohamad, and metric number is 03D8020F1011. The last member is Adriana, Balqis, Ahmad, Nizam, and the metric number is 03D8020F1004. Now, I will hand over this presentation to Liyana. Nurul, Liyana.
First and foremost, I will talk about define the electronic commerce system. Electronic commerce system refer to a business model that allow companies and individuals to buy and sell goods and services over the internet. Customer can access an online store to browse through and place order for product or services via their own device. As the order is placed, the customer web browser will communicate back and forth with the server hosting the online store website. Data pertaining to the order will then be relayed to a central computer known as the order manager, then forward to database that manage inventory level, a machine system that manage payment information using applications such as PayPal, and a bank computer before circling back to the order manager. This is to make sure that store inventory and customer funds are sufficient for order to be processed. After the order is validated, the order manager will notify that store web server, which will then display a message notify the customer that their order has been successfully processed. The order manager will then send order data to the warehouse or fulfillment department in order for the product or services to be successfully dispatched to the customer. Next, I will talk about risks associated with the electronic commerce. 4 risks associated with the electronic commerce that should you know. First, limited customer service. Second, not being able to touch and see. Third, security. And fourth, with me. I will talk first about limitation customer service. If a customer has a question or issue in a physical store, he or she can see a clear cashier or store manager for help. In an e-commerce storage, customer service may be limited. The site may only provide support during certain hours of the day, or a call to a customer service phone number may keep the customer on hold. Second, not being able to touch and see. While image on a web page can provide a good sense about a product, it's different from experiencing it directly, such as playing music on speaker, assessing the picture quality of a television, or trying on a shirt or dress. E-commerce can lead consumers to receive products that differ from their expectation, which lead to returns. In some scenarios, the customer bear the burden for the cost of shipping the returned item to the retailer. Next, with me. If a customer sees an item that he or she likes in a store, the customer pays for it and then goes home with it. With e-commerce, there is a wait time for the product to be shipped to the customer's address. Although shipping windows are decreasing as next day delivery is now quite common, it's not instantaneous. The last one is security. Skilled hackers can create authentic looking websites that claims to sell well-known products. Instead, the site sends customer forfeit or imitation version of those products, or simply collects customer credit card information. Legitimate e-commerce sites also carry risks, especially when customers store their credit card information with the retailer to make future purchases easier. If the retailer site is hacked, hackers may come into the possession of customer credit card information. Now, I will talk first about implication for the accounting profession. For implication for the accounting profession that should you know whereby e-commerce reiterates the need to upskill and reskill. Second, it provides another avenue to practice accounting. Third, dealing with e-commerce tax become more complicated. And fourth, e-commerce push accounting to provide value-added accounting services. I will talk first about e-commerce reiterates the needs to upskill and reskill. Extensive knowledge in using cloud accounting software, experience in migrating from Excel to or desktop accounting software to cloud accounting software, ability to integrate e-commerce platform with cloud accounting software, knowledge of add-on tools to make accounting operation more efficient, analysis and interpretation of online financial statement. When they stick to manual accounting method, they need to deal with time-consuming process. Data entry error are also unavoidable. Second, it provides another avenue to practice accounting. The unprecedented growth of the e-commerce and digital sector in 2020 had opened a wider avenue for accountants to practice their profession. To accounting firms, e-commerce allows them to assist more business, especially true for clients with no automated accounting process yet and those who are still handling their accounting. Third, dealing with e-commerce tax become more complicated. Accountants should keep themselves informed with new regulation and update the tax rule. E-commerce tax are more complicated with the Supreme Court's decision in South Dakota versus Wayfair include case retailer without physical presence. There is remote seller or online retailer in a state may be subject to sale and use tax. Following in decision, several states in the US have enacted economic nexus law. In mandates e-commerce business that sell goods in multiple states to pay tax in each state on they meet a certain threshold. A challenge for a e-commerce tax accountant to be knowledgeable about the nexus of each state to ensure the proper filing of tax. Fourth, e-commerce push accountants to provide value-added accounting services. By offering higher value services, accountants will also have to develop higher level skills. Accountants must be informed about different e-commerce strategies to provide relevant insight to decision makers on the most profitability way to do business. That's all from me. Next, I will pass our presentation to Idayu to continue our presentation.
Thank you, Nurul. Now I will continue this presentation by identifying the operating system and the database management system control. Next is definition of operating system. What is an operating system? An operating system is the most important software that runs on a computer. It manages the computer's memory and process, as well as all its software and hardware. It also allows you to communicate with the computer without knowing how to speak computer language. Without an operating system, a computer is useless. Okay, next is definition of test of control. Information technology control testing is an evaluating of an organization information technology system to ensure effective implementation. The parties determine the accuracy of the system data and whether the organization complies with the appropriate regulations. The information technology control subject to testing can range from physical components of the information technology environment, such as identification badge, to user authorization in applications. Okay, next, definition of access control. Access control is a way to limit access to a system or to physical or virtual resources. In computer, access control is the process by which users are granted certain access and privileges to a system, resource, or information. In an access control system, users must present credentials before they can be granted access. In a physical system, these credentials may come in many forms, but immutable credentials provide the highest security. Okay, last but not least, definition of backup control. Redundant control system that mirrors the main control center system. A backup control center provides parallel or redundant communication with remote I/O areas and allow complete transfer of control from the primary control system to the backup system in the event of an emergency or planned operation without loss of emergency operational control and monitoring capabilities for system-related processes. That's all from me. Now I will invite Adriana Balqis to continue this presentation.
Application control. Application control is a security practice that block or restrict an authorized application from executing in a way that put data at risk. Type of application control. First, input control. The application control governs that the data input in an application. Input control prevents users from entering unvalidated information into the system. This control might require data to be entered in a given format or authorization on all input before adding to the information system. Second, processing control. With processing control, organization verify that incoming data is correctly processed before it added to the information system. The verification involves establishing rules for processing data, then ensuring that these rules are followed every time the application transmits data. For instance, it may mean limiting the number checked or verify that the total are reasonable. Third, output control. This control safeguards the data when transmitting it between applications. With output control, organization verify that the data gets sent to the right user by tracking what data is, whether or not the data is complete and the data's final destination. When implemented correctly, output control ensures that data won't be transmitted until all checks are successfully passed. Example of application control. First, input control. Application can include input control around data editing, ensuring that the only certain field can be edited. Another control is separating the function of each user, so unique user must initiate and authorize the action. Applications can include input control around data editing, ensuring that only certain field can be edited. Another control is separating the function of user, so unique user must initiate and authorize the action. Second, processing control. Validated check are a type of processing control that require the application that confirm that all processed data is valid. It means ensuring that the data is in the required format or sent to the correct user. Third, output control. Authorization is an example and output control in which the system authenticates data before it leaves system. Authorization is another tool that requires the application to confirm that the user has the approval to complete the action.